Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to go over my final team selection and any transfers that I'm thinking of making for Game Week 24. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, what is your team looking like for the next game week, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's go over my disaster of a game week. 64 points after a hit as well, so actually I'm 60 points. Average points of 66, my game week rank of 6.5 mil, all the way back down to 90k. I had such a good game week last week, which put me all the way up to 45k, and then that has just doubled to 94k. It just went so horribly wrong. Kepa getting 2, Trippier getting 2, Ake getting 3. So close to scoring as well in that Arsenal game. Ake was so close, but unfortunately wasn't to be. And then Ben White getting benched as well. I am pretty safe to say that I don't think Ben White is going to be getting benched again anytime soon. Tomiyasu had an absolute shocker in that game. I don't know what Arteta was thinking. Tomiyasu I don't think has started a game this season in the Prem, so why his first game was the biggest game of the season for him, I have no idea. But yeah, Tomiyasu had an absolute shocker. The first pass to De Bruyne's goal, which was an incredible finish by the way, ridiculous, and I don't know, just his whole presence on the pitch just wasn't that good. And then obviously Ben White came on and got me an extra point. But yeah, I'm pretty safe and to say that I think Ben White will be starting over him in the next few game weeks, I'm pretty sure. And then in midfield, Rashford got 8, Fernandes got 3, who missed another big chance as well. Could have been a different game week if that went in. Ødegaard getting absolutely nothing. Like, since I brought him in, he's gotten absolutely nothing. Before I brought him in, he was getting 11s, 13s, all this. It's just one of those things. As soon as I bring in a player, it just doesn't go well. Saka got me 15. The one thing that went well this game week was my transfer from Martinelli to Saka, which was a -4, but more than made up for it because Martinelli, I think, got 5 points in this double game week, maybe 4 or 5 points. Saka got 15. So, and now I've got him as well, and he's arguably the best Arsenal player to have. So I was really happy with that decision. But my other transfers are just what went wrong this week. Mitrovic getting 2, who is also now flagged. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Kane getting 2, and then Haaland getting 20, which again wasn't great because of all the triple captains and stuff. My bench got a lot of points as well. Shaw got 12, Andreas got 6, Patterson 0, Ward got 3. But yeah, all in all, just a terrible game week. Again, it could have gone so differently. I was so close to going Mahrez and Shaw instead of Ake and Fernandes. They were the options. It was Fernandes and Ake against Shaw and Mahrez, and I went with the completely wrong decision because I got 6 points from Ake and Fernandes, whereas I think Shaw and Mahrez would have got like 27 or something like that together. So it was a massive swing. I'd be on a massive green arrow if I went that, because I obviously would have played Shaw instead of Ake because I would still have Cancelo, who I would have benched this week. So I would have got 12 points there from Shaw. So that would have put me up to 76 minus Ake's 3. So that would have been on 73. And then instead of Fernandez's points, I would have got Mahrez's, so that's another 12 there instead. So yeah, I would have been on like 80 plus points, which would have been ridiculous. But unfortunately, I made the complete wrong decision, and now I have to deal with it. So that's how, unfortunately, badly my game week went. But we'll carry on. We'll see what happens next week. This is what my team is looking like for game week 24. Again, we went over it earlier on in the week, but now there's more issues that I have to deal with because for whatever reason, Mitrovic has another knock. Just every single week, there's a problem with him. But either way, we've got Kepa in goal, who's got Southampton at home. I just need a clean sheet this week for Chelsea so bad. I need Kepa to get some save points and them to get some bonus. I feel like if you're a Reece James owner this week, though, you're going to be licking your lips at this game. I think he's going to absolutely do wonders this week. Although he did just play in the Champions League, though, so I don't know. Maybe he does need his minutes managed a little bit. Who knows? I think if he starts, though, he probably will hit 60 minutes and get a decent little haul. But either way, I've got Kepa, who's got Southampton at home. The back line, I've got Trippier at home to Liverpool. I've got Ake away at Forest, and then I've got Shaw at home to Leicester. City players are just a little bit worrying at the moment because of Champions League back. I don't really know if Ake's going to play this game because he doesn't really need to. So I'm just kind of thinking of playing Ben White over him. But I mean, Forest away, that's just such a good fixture for City. They might finally keep a clean sheet. But I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what like Pep says and stuff in press conferences. But either way, at this point in time, that's the back line. In midfield, we have Leicester at home for Rashford. We've got Leicester at home for Fernandes. I need United to pop off in that game, and I need big returns from Fernandes because he's a bit of a diffie this week because a lot of people obviously jumped on De Bruyne and Mahrez, who I hope both get benched in the Forest game because of Champions League, whereas Fernandes hopefully does wonders. Leicester's expected goal conceded away from home is ridiculously bad, which is also why a lot of people are thinking of captaining Rashford as well. So I'm hoping that both Fernandes and Rashford can just do bits in that game. And I've got Ødegaard and Saka, who have got Villa away. Again, I need something from Ødegaard, because since I brought him in, he's done absolutely nothing, and it's just been painful as hell. But hopefully he can grab something. That whole penalty ordeal was so weird. Penalties this week have been so weird, by the way, because I think Ødegaard picked it up, and then he gave it to someone else, and then they gave it to Saka or something like that. Either way, the penalty was all over the place. And then as well as that, obviously we had the City penalty this week as well. Mahrez took it instead of Haaland, who originally, like, Rodri was going to take it, but Mahrez took it off him. I think the only reason Haaland didn't take that penalty was because of the thigh issue. I think he's still obviously the first choice penalty kick taker. I mean, Pep's even come out and said that. But yeah, penalties this week have just been really weird. Also, that was only like Saka's second penalty this season or something. It's actually kind of crazy. But either way, that's the midfield. Up top, we've got Mitrovic, who's now flagged. Bloody, I just hate this guy so much at the moment. Who's got Brighton away, and then Kane, who's got West Ham at home, and then Haaland, who's got Forest away, who is my captain. Again, a little bit worried about minutes being managed, but in the reverse fixture, he did score a hat-trick. As much as I hate to admit it, Forest aren't great at the moment, especially. I mean, we're good at home, but we've just lost our two centre-backs. I don't know if you saw it, but basically, like, Bolly and McKenna both pulled their hamstring in, like, the 7th minute in the game against Fulham, which is ridiculous. Like, how can you have two centre-backs pull a hamstring at the same time? I think something must have happened in the warm-up where, like, they didn't do it properly or something. But yeah, we're out, like, with two of our best centre-backs. So I think Haaland can really just cause damage this week, because we've got Worrell, who, you know, as much as I love the guy last season for getting us promoted, he's just not up to date with the Premier League. He's just not at the standard. And so Haaland's gonna have an absolute field day against him. He did in the reverse fixture because Worrell played in that game and Haaland absolutely pocketed him. So yeah, I think that Haaland, if he does play, I think he's going to do big this game week. And then on the bench, we've got Ward, who's got United away, White, who's got Villa away, and then Andreas Pereira, who's got Brighton away, and then Patterson, who's got Leeds at home, who is now not red flagged. He's just flagged for, like, lack of match fitness. I think he's training with the under-21s. I don't know if he'll make game week 25, but I'm hoping he makes game week 28, which is obviously what I also need him for because of the blank. So we'll have to see what happens there. But at the same time, hopefully he's back for 25 and I can just play him because of the double. I may end up playing him anyway and just see if I can get lucky for once, because, you know, it's two fixtures, so a double game week might be better than, like, a single person game week, especially with the likes of Ake potentially being benched and stuff like that. I might need some extra double game week fixtures. But either way, that's how the team is shaping up for game week 24. Let's move on to transfers, because again, I'm a little bit in two minds about this now. So obviously still got 1.8 mil in the bank, one free transfer. My original idea was just to roll this week, and then I'd have two free transfers for the double next week, and obviously the blank and stuff, and I was going to easily be able to sort that out. But now with Mitrovic being flagged, it's not the worst thing in the world, because if he is out and we get information about him being out in the press conference, then I could just play White instead, or even Andreas Pereira, which I don't really want to do, but is always an option. And I think two free transfers going into next week are going to be so useful. The other thing that I could do this week is obviously drop Mitrovic, and I could just bring in João Felix, who again I think is going to play most games because he's just like the best forward player that Chelsea have at the moment. He was quite unlucky in the Champions League fixture as well. He's only 7.6. He has Southampton at home this week. He doesn't blank in 25 or 28, even though the Tottenham is the game in 25. Yeah, he doesn't blank in 28. And they've also got some really nice fixtures coming up: Leeds, Leicester, and Everton. So yeah, I'm really thinking about bringing him in this week and just hope that, you know, he can just perform, because I think he's going to do bits against Southampton. Like, they're just safe options, Chelsea players are. If they are nailed, they're safe options, because, like I say, they don't blank in 25, they don't blank in 28. They've got some really nice fixtures coming up. At this moment in time, I think the only 100% nailed player is Kepa. Maybe Reece James, but again, Reece James will have his minutes managed and stuff, especially with Champions League. So apart from that, I think everyone's in a bit of a doubt. I think João Felix is probably like the next most nailed player, though, just because, like I say, he is their best forward option. But if I don't do that this week and I just roll, which again is what I want to do, I actually realized I could bring in Salah next week, and it actually would work out relatively well, and I'd get rid of two blanking players. So I'd get rid of Fernandes and Shaw next week, which would give me 16.8 mil in the bank. And then what that means is I could bring in Salah, and then I could also bring in Tarkowski, and I just have enough money to do that. So if there's no price rises up until game week 25, I may have to go early on this move because I will be priced out. So I'll be constantly checking that price update. But this would give me two doublers. It'd give me Salah, who, again, does double in 25, potentially blanks in 28. If Fulham and Liverpool go ahead in game week 28, I'm absolutely loving life because I have Mitrovic, Salah, and Andreas Pereira who all will not blank in a game week where a lot of players are blanking. If that game doesn't go ahead, though, we're in trouble because that means Mitrovic, Andreas, and Salah all do blank. So I'm not a huge fan of bringing in a player that will blank in game week 28, but at the same time, they've got a double coming up. It's a really nice double as well, and he's on penalties, and you know he's the most nailed Liverpool attacker as well. Like, I know that Darwin Núñez has a little bit of competition now with Jota being back and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't think he gets benched. I think he's still their first choice. I think Gakpo is a little bit more at risk because of like maybe Jota being able to play on the left and stuff, but I don't think Darwin Núñez is going to have his minutes managed as much. But I kind of want to go Salah anyway just because he's on pens. And then we have Tarkowski as well, who, and I can't believe I'm going to have double Everton defense in this team. I don't know if the situation is going on here, but that's just going to be what we're doing. But yeah, obviously Tarkowski does have the double and then doesn't blank in 28. So I like the idea of bringing these two players in. It gives me 2 extra double game week players. Hopefully Patterson is back. And then I have White, Ødegaard, Saka, Salah, Tarkowski, and Ødegaard all having double game weeks, which is really, really nice. And then blank game week 25, I would obviously just play... well, no, and then in obviously game week 28, I'd obviously have to play like White, Saka, Ødegaard, Patterson, Tarkowski, Trippier, and then that's 6 players, and then Kepa as well, which is 7. So, and then I can obviously move around like up to game week 26, 27. I can just use transfers to get a few more players in, like probably do double Newcastle defense. I'll probably get rid of Ake and bring in Botman, and then that'd give me a little bit more money, and I'll probably get rid of Salah as well. I kind of also want to bring in maybe Wilson as well, who obviously will have Forest away in that fixture, but again, he's such a risk at the moment. Like, he wasn't in the squad again, and I don't know if I want to go down that memory lane as well, because when I owned Wilson before in the past, it just wasn't fun. So yeah, that's another thing that I could do. But again, bringing in Botman, I might be able to bring in like João Felix that week anyway. So that's the kind of situation I'm at. So I'm kind of more so leaning to this because it just gives me 2 extra double game week players. And I think Salah is such a differential right now. In the top 10k, Salah is a ridiculous differential. I know that a lot of teams still own him in the terms of players that like don't play anymore, like managers that just stop playing. Everyone owns him because obviously at the start of the season everyone wanted him, but at the moment in time around my rank, if he did bits in that double game week, he would absolutely shoot my rank up. So that's what I'm kind of looking at, and I think this is the direction that I'm going to take. Of course, I could easily be priced out of this at any point if Salah or Tarkowski go up in price. Shaw actually just went up in price as well though, but unfortunately it didn't give me a price rise, which was really annoying because he did just go up to 5.4. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know why that's not giving me a price rise. He's still selling for 5.1, and I don't really understand that. I think he should go up to 5.2 maybe. I don't know how his price is 5.4. I don't know. I'm not sure how that one works out because I think I brought him at like 4.9. Maybe he has to go up to 5.5. I'm not sure. But either way, I would have really liked that price rise to go up because that would have just given me a little bit more room for kind of maneuver and stuff, because that would have just allowed me that extra 0.1 where I could just not have to make my moves too quick. I don't think Salah's going to go down in price. I don't think Fernandes is going to go up in price, so I don't think that's something that I can make money on. Tarkowski probably will go up in price soon as well, though, especially next week because of the double, especially if he scores this weekend as well against Leeds, who I think is a decent option this week. But either way, that's how my team's looking for game week 24. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, I'm really liking my team in game week 24. Like, I think it looks really nice anyway, but anything could happen. Benchings, Mitrovic could be out, Ake could be out, and then we could be in a massive problem. But I mean, I've got an alright bench that's strong enough to hopefully redeem those if that does happen. But yeah, that's everything from me. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new, and until next time, peace.